welcome. Oh my god. Oh my god, hi! We're doing it live! Hello and welcome to the Charlotte O'Tremba Show. My name is Charlotte. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited you're here. I'm wearing a green sweater because Christmas season, holiday season is fully underway, and I recognize not everybody celebrates Christmas, but at this one I feel like it's just such a commercial holiday that, I mean, who even knows anymore what it's about? Just kidding. I have my kombucha, pretty excited about it, and a paper straw. Oh god, remember when like the thing we were most worried about was about plastic straws and how they were killing the turtles? Which, literally every time I pictured that, I know that the point is that they were swallowing these paper straws. But I always just pictured like a turtle being stabbed underwater by a straw in their neck. Ah! Straw again! It got me. Just an old wise tortoise being taken by a straw. But obviously not the case. I'm wearing this green sweater, which I'm really excited about, and then also wearing these, I don't know if you can see, I'll just stand up for the viewers. These like faux leather, like long shorts essentially, which I thought they were going to be a bit longer and that they could sort of fly as like gaucho pants and I could just wear boots with them, but they are really just shorts. They are just shorts that hit the knee. And I really wanted to make them work, and it was kind of an impulse buy. They were super on sale, which should have been my first clue, because yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we didn't have to eat outside only, which is what New York City is, I don't know about anywhere else. So like you have to get dressed and be warm. You can't just like dress and look cute. You have to like look cute and be ready to be sitting outside in 40-degree weather for 2 hours. So you can't just be messing around with exposed skin all willy-nilly. No. And it just made me think about like how, and maybe this is just me, but I will like impulse buy something. It'll be impulse in quotes, but like I will fully rationalize why I need this item and think about all the clothes that I already have that it'll match with, and like will it go, and blah blah blah. Do all of that, and then I get it and there might be something wrong, like they are just shorts, they're not really pants, and it's December. And I will like really work my hardest to make it work, and I think that's where I am. I'm like committing to these long faux leather shorts that I impulse bought. So I'm wearing them and I love them, but I'm going to dinner later and I might have to take them off, and I just like, I'm not into that. But maybe I'll just commit. Heck, throw on some cowboy boots, really call this thing an outfit. Oh god, I miss wearing cowboy boots all the time. Speaking of cowboy boots, reminds me of Nashville, which brings me to Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler, who live in Nashville. See that? See how it all just connected there? God, I'm so good. Just pat myself on the back. For doing my job. The basic. I'm doing the least. Anyway, so if you don't know, Kristen Cavallari basically started her career, quote unquote, well, now she has a real career, but she came into the spotlight because she was on Laguna Beach. Rip. Laguna Beach, the first finest reality television. Actually, probably MTV's The Real World, but, or maybe it was after. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Laguna Beach. She then fast forward like just got better at doing like reality shows. Then meets Jay Cutler, who is also a Vandy grad. Yes. Also, I feel like I had like multiple professors who just would only talk about Jay Cutler. Like he was the glory of Vanderbilt or something. Anyway, she's married to Jay Cutler. They have 3 kids. Also had like a weird messy breakup in there, but then I think got pregnant and they were like, all right, we're gonna make this work. Then she founds Uncommon James, this jewelry company, which they actually have really cute stuff. And the jewelry company's taking off. Anyway, jewelry company's taking off. She does a reality TV show on E! Featuring the people that work at Uncommon James. One of these people is this girl named Shannon something, and she is like a pain. Now look, a lot of times in reality shows they're going to paint somebody as a villain or whatever so that there's a plot line, right? You need like a protagonist and an antagonist. Whatever. She also just seemed like she didn't care about her job, which was uncomfortable to watch. And anyway, she was fired on the show. Now, Jay Cutler and Kristen Cavallari announced their divorce sometime during quarantine. What are months anymore? Nobody knows. And last week or something, Jay Cutler posts an Instagram post, not story, one that can disappear, a permanent feed photo or video of him with Shannon Ford and her boyfriend or with Shannon Ford and some other guy. A savage. Like, imagine just giving 0 fucks and stirring the pot like Jay Cutler just did. Just like, oh, the employee that caused Kristen, my ex-wife, the biggest headache at her company and on her show. Yeah, let me, 1, get drinks with her, and 2, post it on Instagram. What? Savage. Like, I can't tell if I respect the savagery of the move or just like hate him for it. I guess it's both. Oh, Jay. Another thing I want to talk about is, okay, I want to know if anybody else has experienced this. So it was on Facebook, which I go on more regularly than I like to admit to like make sure I post stuff about the podcast, and also for my job I go on there, my day job. I saw a post of this guy that I follow who's, okay, identity doesn't matter, and he had a post referring to his significant other. They might be engaged, I'm not sure, so either significant other or fiance's father referred to that father as our dad. I want to clarify and let you know that he has a father who is in his life, his own, that raised him. This is the significant other's father. When did we just start calling our significant other's dad our dad? Not only in private, but on a public forum. On a public social media platform. Like, it's normal to say our dad. So how are we supposed to know which dad you're talking about? And of course this applies to, like, you know, people who have both sets of parents, which is lucky to begin with. But I just found it so weird to not label that person as, like, father-in-law to be, or like so-and-so's father. You can't just take someone's father in your 30s and be like, oh, this is also my dad now. Like, because if it's both your dad, because when you say our dad, that implies that you're siblings. So that's what I first thought when I read it. And then I read a little further and realized that he was talking about his significant other's father. Like, if it's both your dad and your partner's dad, we need to call the authorities. You shouldn't be together. Normalize calling your parent your parent. Just keep it divided. Is this like a new trend? It's so concerning and confusing. And for what? We're not gonna like give you more sympathy or something because it's our. If anything, I'm now A, confused, and B, concerned. No. Has anybody else dealt with it? Like, please let me know. I need to know. It's so weird. Imagine if you just started like calling anybody's dad your dad. Just like, oh yeah, our dad. Sorry, who are you? Oh yeah, well our dad said we can stay. Whose? You're in a different state and family. I can't. Okay, this is great. So Mariah Carey released a new rendition of her song, Oh Santa, which if you're wondering what that song is, you might have missed it, but it came out in 2010 originally. A real banger. I'm kidding. It's just not her classic. I mean, she's already killing the Christmas game. Not sure why she needs to like push out her own top song and try to bring in another one. Easy, Mariah. No, she should. Honestly, she should just lean into Christmas as her niche. It's really smart, honestly, what she's doing. Just take over Christmas. I mean, think about how much money she makes year after year. Her song is on every radio station. The new Christmas classic. Okay, anyway. This is her new song, Oh Santa, and she tapped Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande. So it's like the most powerful voice trio you could have. So the three of them do this song. Now, what I didn't realize is that this re-release, or whatever, I don't even think they're selling it as like, oh, it was originally this song. They're just sort of like re-releasing it and making it seem like it's a new song because they have a video with it, whole nine. So, it's originally from this 2010 Hallmark movie that was supposed to be like Mariah's big break or something. Or not big break, but was supposed to, I guess, launch her movie career. Unclear, but not to worry. My friend Katie Zupanzik knows the scoop. So I'm going to read you the plot of this movie because she just explains it better. Because it's so good. Okay. An 8-year-old writes the song for the school talent show. The single hot teacher plays the piano for her, and her single mom, so the kid's single mom, who was a fashion designer in LA but moved home when her firefighter husband died in a fire, makes the costumes for the talent show. Mariah Carey plays a douchey dance mom who refuses to let her kid wear the handmade costumes, but comes around when the handmade ones are better than the store-bought ones, and the single mom made an extra for her daughter. They basically marketed it like it was Mariah's next big thing. And then she sends me a clip of the movie, and guys, it's the song. This song that Mariah Carey, Jennifer Hudson, and Ariana Grande are singing was originally sang by an 8-year-old because it's supposed to be a song that she wrote herself, an 8-year-old. So there's a whole musical sequence of like her coming out, this 8-year-old coming out on stage singing the song. It all goes well. It's like a huge dance number, and then she hits like a high note and like Whole crowd goes wild. It's super dramatic. Everything you'd expect. And at the end of the song, of course, like the single mom and the single hot piano teacher kiss. It's super romantic, even though the whole thing is so cringeworthy. They do that like kiss moment so well, where you just like are like, oh. But get this, guess who plays the mom? Gretchen Wieners. The actress who plays Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls. So like the amount of people, and then like Mariah Carey's just like off to the side scowling during the whole song. This is the song that she chose to re-release. And guys, spoiler, the song is terrible. It's so bad. Why are we, and like all these publications, like I did a quick search of it just to see, like Elle wrote about it, like a bunch of other things, like wait till you listen to Mariah Carey's new song. The song is so bad. And she, like the 3 best voices in the biz couldn't even save it. That's how bad the song is. Who is on her team? Of all the songs she has, I totally support dominating the Christmas season. I think that is so smart from Mariah Carey. Why this song? If an 8-year-old can write it, which they obviously made it simple so that it would be somewhat believable that an 8-year-old wrote it with like a mom or dad helping her the entire time. Why would that be the song we're going to choose to focus on? And also, speaking of Mariah's team, I don't know who is working on her face, but she looks the same age as she does in this Hallmark movie from 10 years ago. The music video that just released of her, she literally looks the same age. Incredible. I want her team working on me. I just... all right. I also want to talk about people who have such confidence in their design choices. So someone else I follow, I feel like this is the case for a lot of influencers, truthfully. They venture into a niche that's not their own, right? Like they might be in sort of lifestyle tips, and then they'll start showing like interior design tips in their home. And I just like want to emphasize that there are people who study, go to school, and work full-time as interior designers. So you just picking out like a pink pillow doesn't make you a design expert all of a sudden. And then the confidence with which they will speak about their interior design choices. Like it will be, literally this is a real example, a black, pink, and white color palette. Now, I recognize the irony that I'm passing judgment on somebody else's interior design choices as if I have a higher capability or design background or something. Of course I don't. But the confidence with which this influencer shows off her black table and like just terrible room. I admire it. I admire the commitment. I want to know how, because I feel like even if I hired the best interior designer, did the whole house, whole 9, I would still be like, oh yeah, I don't know though. I mean, like whatever works for you. I mean, obviously that's me and my own insecurities. So I need to work on that level of confidence to have the pendulum so far the other way where you're like, yes, I can confidently recommend this Target blanket as a design choice for you. I guess what it is like taste versus not. Like, the thing is, somebody who works in fashion or works in style as a stylist or like a fashion influencer, I would sooner take their interior design taste over like a lifestyle tip person, because they already sort of have an eye, right? Like, you're gonna have a natural like eye for things that are good versus like if you work in like nutrition. That's just what it is. Love it. Okay. Oh, sweatsuits. How do we feel about them? I feel like they're everywhere. I'm sick of them. Actually, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. I am so tired of seeing matching sweatsets, but then I also simultaneously desperately want one. Am I just like the biggest victim of Instagram targeting? Influencers bombard my feed with the same style choice, and it takes me a while, but then suddenly I'm like, you know what? I think I really want a matching sweatsuit, as if it's my own organic idea. I hate them and I love them, because on the one hand, it seems like you're giving up, but if there's a ranking, giving up would be mismatched sweats. Next would be a matching sweatsuit. And third would be dressing like a fucking normal person. Not an old person with orthopedic shoes in their matching sweatsuit going to lunch like it's normal. And now freaking 20-year-olds in LA do that. You know what? The original trendsetter of the matching sweatsuit were old people. You heard it here first. They've been doing it since 1980s Miami. And now these influencers acting like it's a new trend. Quarantine, what? No, Estelle's been doing it at the club for 40 years. Come on. Get with it, kids. We love a sweatsuit. We love a sweatsuit. It's like you're getting dressed, but it's comfortable. That's Estelle. Estelle's like, honey, I need a new velour. Get it for me. It's comfortable. It's matching. It's comfortable. But you know what you can do with a matching sweatsuit? You could throw a blazer on, and it would look fucking great. You're welcome. Okay, Rex. I have 4 recs today. One is honey. No, I'm not sponsored by honey yet, like every other podcast, but I wish to be. So I'm just going to put it out there. But actually, though, I do have the honey extension. And if you're not doing your holiday shopping with honey, you are likely losing a lot of money. So basically what it is, it's an extension that goes onto your Chrome browser, and when you click it, or it'll automatically tell you, it'll like scan the internet for coupons, or I don't know how they do it, but it'll like find coupons for you and test them so you don't have to do all the work. And then you like, they end up usually finding something. So check it out. Next, Yoga Toes. Have you guys used Yoga Toes? Because they are great. I impulse bought these on Instagram. Okay, not impulse. Okay, maybe this is another example of impulse buying something and then firmly committing to them because I overspent. But I have now, I put these on like every night. So what they do is it's like this rubber material, a firm but flexible rubber material that you put on, and you like weave your toes in between them, these little pieces. And so it stretches your toes out. So you like leave it on, and you could leave it on for like an hour. They say to start at 15 minutes until you're used to it, and then you can go up to an hour, hour and a half. You know, the big leagues of the Yoga Toes. And honestly, it feels so good after, you know, a long day of sitting alone in my apartment. Can really just unwind with them. No, but really, if you're like a runner or walker or something. I mean, Eric, who was on the podcast, check out episode 4 if you didn't listen to the interview. Eric walks miles through New York City. He is like a true walker, and he would love these. So I would give those a try there on Amazon, and they feel so good, seriously. Okay, next rec is a video, and it's Saturday. It's last year. It's from last year, so if you haven't seen it, you should watch it if you need a laugh. Saturday Night Live's children's clothing ad sketch. So it's a riff on a Macy's or any department store children's clothing ad or something for the holidays, like get to Macy's for the sales, but it just talks about instead the realities of trying to dress children in clothes that are dressier and like sweaters that are itchy. It's hilarious. So search SNL children's clothing ad sketch if you need a laugh midday. All right, it's now time for advice. We love advice time. Okay, 2 questions today. Thank you as always to those who write in with questions. And if you would like to submit a question, you can DM me on Instagram at Charlotte Otremba. And I will be sure to answer your question on the pod. Perfect. First one. Catherine T asks, my significant other needs motivation to work out. How do I help him along without hurting his feelings? Great question, Catherine. I also sometimes have to motivate my significant other along, dear Lon. Mostly because, people have different reasons for not working out. It's not always that they're lazy. It's more just that they, at least in Lon's case, he's just very work focused, and he, I think if he has a moment of time free, he'd work instead, and then he sort of maxes out, and then he has no energy left, and he just wants to go to sleep. So what I has found works is just leading by example. That's one way. And then inviting them to do the workout with me. So, with Lon, we're in an apartment together, so that makes it a little bit easier. I can kind of really just pull him over to do a workout video with me. But I think inviting the person to do it with you is just flat out the easiest way, because you just telling them you need to work out, that's when it can maybe hurt their feelings, because they might take that as oh, you think that I'm not in shape, or you don't find me attractive, when of course that's not it. But I think inviting them to join it with you, asking them how they feel afterwards, is a good way to help them take note of how their body feels. And then also what I've done is sort of the next day, this happened just last week. Lon in the morning was like, gosh, I slept so well last night. And I said, yeah, do you think it had anything to do with the workout yesterday? Wow, that seems to be the common denominator. Every time he sleeps better, and same with me, is when I move of some kind. And I'm not saying it has to be an intense workout. I think even starting the person on going on walks with you is so great. And then that way it can start from something that's kind of fun and light, and then trying other things, and then once they find that it's, not as bad or more accessible, if you're making time for it and you can include them in it, then, they can make time for it too. And then once you make it a regular routine, they will start to crave it on their own, because it'll become a habit to them. And they'll feel in their body gosh, I feel stressed, I feel anxious, I feel kind of tight or not happy, kind of I know that some kind of movement will help my body and will help my brain. If you're looking for workout video tips, I would highly recommend SidFit Wellness. She's on Instagram at SidFit, I think, or at Sydney Miller. Her website is SidFit Wellness. SidFit. Let me just check the website. SidFitWellness.com. She has great videos. They're 45 minutes, and they always end with a little meditation, so you feel so good. Just your body feels good and then your mind feels good after, and she's so motivating, so I highly recommend her. And then on YouTube, I highly recommend Move with Nicole, and she does Pilates videos and some bar, like all range of time. So if you're shorter on time, that's great to do. Just like a 15-minute Pilates works wonders. And then I also love Boho Beautiful. They're also on YouTube, and they do a mix of yoga or Pilates, and they're always in a different location, like around the world. So it's like really fun to watch their videos too, especially right now, we're stuck, for the most part locally. So it's fun to see on a video a different location. Thank you so much, Catherine, for writing in. Next, Jessie R asks, I am always late. Any tips to help me be better about being on time? Oh, well, Jessie, you and me both. I also struggle with this sometimes. I mean, of course, now it's a little bit easier over Zoom, or like if you're working from home and you have appointments and you need to make sure you don't like space on a Zoom, which this happens to me like embarrassingly often. It's so bizarre. Like I'll know it's coming, and then all of a sudden I'll forget and start doing something. So I set literally all the reminders. If you have an appointment or something that you have, put it in your Google Calendar. Make sure that it's connected to all email accounts. So if there's like a different email account on your phone, make sure it's connected, or you have the Google Gmail calendar on your phone. Just like make sure you use Google Cal, and make sure you have the app on your phone too, and on your computer. Set the event time, and then you can set reminders. And I would add like 2 reminders so that you make sure you know what's happening, and then you like get notifications on your computer and on your phone. And if you have an Apple Watch, you can get it on there too. So I would highly recommend that. For going out, like you're meeting somebody somewhere, I would honestly use the same system. I would put the time in your Google Calendar app, and I would set the reminders, and make sure you set a reminder for like what time you need to leave. Like, okay, if you set the reminder for like an hour ahead, that way you'll know like, okay, I need to leave at this time. And I would just start getting ready earlier, because that's what happens to me is I'll start getting ready, and then I change my outfit, and then I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't look right, and blah, blah, blah. And what I personally need to work on is just starting getting ready earlier, so that I am like ready early and then can leave earlier and then be there on time. So those would be my hot tips. True story, one time I did not put, I used to babysit this amazing family, like the best 2 little kids. And one time I forgot to put something in my Google Cal. I literally forgot to go pick up the kids. It was like the worst I have ever felt in my entire life. The dad I wasn't picking them up. I was going to meet them at the apartment. So luckily they weren't stranded at school, but I was going to meet them at the apartment and then like take them out. Literally the dad texts me and is like, hey Charlotte, just wondering like, where you are? You're supposed to be here like half an hour ago. And I was fully like an hour away in Brooklyn. Just like, oh my God, I forgot. I have no excuse. Oh, it was so bad. Imagine that's the babysitter you hired. She forgot to come get your kids. Oh my God, it's a miracle I still had a job with them. Oh my God, I hope my parents don't hear this. They're gonna be so disappointed in me. Oh, well, anyway, on that note, I think we'll call it an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you spending the time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment on any of the platforms on, YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot when you do. And if you have any questions that you want answered on the pod, just DM me at Charlotte Otremba. And have a great week, and thanks so much for joining. Sending you all my love. Bye-bye.